crossbow. Um, and then this is when we switched to Kaelan primary and absolutely fried Magzay, guys. Kaelan primary with the full marksman and support tree, which I will be. What is going on, guys? Your boy Guns here, and we finally got to test Magzay versus the G5 archers. Okay, and I'm gonna be showing you guys those tests, and I'll put a link in the description for the live stream of all the testing that we did, so you guys can check it out there. Okay, it was like a good 2.5+ hours of just nonstop testing different builds, testing versus tanks, and everything like that. So I'll tell you guys in summary everything that I learned just from the get-go. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll go through some reports though for you guys, and I'm also going to show you guys ultimately the best builds that I think are for the new heroes. Okay, let's see, I think I shared them with this account. No, free to play account. No. Oh yeah. Okay, so here it is. So starting from the top, so I shout out to Jason, by the way. He is able to max them out, and obviously that's not easy because his G5, so they're fresh, right? So you can see we had Ruby Kaelan primary, and they won by 6K, so not by that much, but they still won. Okay, we scroll down, we did Ruby Kaelan again, and then they were barely even, almost lost. Okay, let me turn the camera off. We'll like kind of quickly go through these. Ruby Kaelan again. Ruby Kaelan lost because Zeta's Silver Tongue activated, giving her extra crit for her normal attacks. And then Ruby Kaelan again, even. I think this one we added an artifact. Yeah, we added an artifact for this one, so about even. And then is this the same one I just showed you guys? Yeah, same one with the artifact. And then Ruby Kaelan again, barely won with the artifact. One of the things that we saw was like with the gilded crossbow, and then this is when we switched to Kaelan primary and absolutely fried Magzay, guys. Kaelan primary with the full marksman and support tree, which I will be showing you guys here today. Don't worry. Absolutely fried it. Okay, when it came to like range on range. And then like I said, we did a bunch of tests, right? Kaelan Ruby again, fried it. You can see the differences when we had the Kaelan Ruby primary. Look at that, 25-40, which is insane, right? Like, and then we did some testing versus the tanks. You guys can do the math if you want. Ultimately, to answer the first question of which one's going to be better in the open field, I still think Magzay is going to be better in the open field because, as you can see here, Kaelan Ruby primary, there was 236 remaining. But then when we did Magzay, had 270k remaining. And then you could look up top to see like how fast it was killing it. I think Magzay still killed it a little bit faster. I'll click on the other one just so you guys can do the math on that. But yeah, so Magzay's healing ultimately is going to keep her in that #1 spot for merit earning, in my opinion. And then we also did Ruby Kaelan here. Okay, and then what else did we do down here? Oh, yeah, we did Ruby Kaelan with the marksman and half PvP, I believe. Yeah, I think we did Ruby with the marksman and half PvP, if I remember correctly. So yeah, and don't get me. We'll get to it. You guys are probably thinking like, okay, so run marksman, and I'll get to the precision tree, right? Ruby again, but Kaelan primary, he was still doing better, right? I'm just kind of going through all these to show you guys. And a lot of the times when we looked at the damage dealt, Kaelan was the one doing substantially more damage. So I think after looking at all these test results, I would awaken Kaelan first. Which if you already awaken Ruby first, it's not that big of a deal, right? You could just end up going for both. They're both really great heroes, and I think they have a chance potentially of being in that #1 spot for merits. I think in once the AoE of Ruby starts going, and we did try testing the AoE for Ruby, but it was kind of bugged because of being in the same camps. I even tried leaving the alliances, right? That way it doesn't show like the little like orange characters for being in the same camp or same kingdom or whatever. So it was a little bit bugged, so we couldn't really test that properly. So it is possible though that even though Magzay have more survivability out in the field, it is possible that Ruby Kaelan's AoE starts going crazy. Now where that AoE is going to play a factor is once you actually start hitting range units, because when you're hitting tanks, that AoE really doesn't multiply the way that you would think it does. All right. Another Ruby Kaelan. That time it lost. This time what did we run? Oh, the Gilded Crossbow. Sometimes, like I said, the Silver Tongue procs on Max A. And it's GG. Ruby Kaelan again. And then Kaelan, look at that. Kaelan Ruby, bro. I'm telling you guys, I really do think Kaelan primary is just better. Okay, now let's talk about it. Let me show you guys the build. I'll show you guys the build. I'll leave it on in the background. And we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so here's the build, guys. This is the build that we were running, and some of you guys are probably already like, whoa, there's like no march speed here. Okay, well, yeah, you can put the march speed right here. This is more for like damage testing, but anyways, you could put the march speed here. This is the build that we are running. This is the one that I will be running. However, there is a honorable mention to the Ruby. Now, one of the things that we found out was that the marksman support tree, when it comes to hitting range on range, absolutely fries. Now, when it came to hitting tanks, the precision tree killed the tanks faster and didn't really affect the remaining units that were left. So, okay, so what can you do with that information, right? Okay, well, if we want to kill tanks faster, we all run precision. But if I want to do more damage to the range units, then I'm going to have to do the marksman and support, right? Marksman and support, or marksman and PvP. Ultimately, we still found that Kaelan primary was still a little bit better. We'll see more and more reports as the time goes by. Let's see, is this the okay, this is not the one that we ran. But so the one that we ran for Ruby, we didn't go to intimidation and we didn't go to bullseye. So you would stop here and you would pick up the 5 in dedication, because that healing and dedication gives you approximately, based off our testing, about 8,800 heals for one tank, right? So over time, you're going to do substantially more healing than that, right? If you're doing about 8,000 per tank and you're left with like 240, you can kind of do the math there. You're probably going to do upwards of 50 to 70,000 heals just from this one talent. Now, we've been kind of testing the Weasel a little bit, not fully. The damage has been okay, but nothing too crazy so far. So I'm thinking Kaelan primary with Ruby, with a Sand Lizard and the new artifact, right? Or you can do, if you want to kill the tanks faster, that's like your priority. You can go Ruby precision tree with those points in dedication. All right, and with the thing with the Ruby is like you can actually speed sync her a little bit more compared to your Kaelan, because I know some of you guys are like, you know, some of you guys like can't stand your marches being like not being the same march speed, but yeah, guys. So in terms of range on range, Magzay has officially been dethroned. Okay, in the open field, we'll see. We still got to see more testing as far as the open field, guys. So I hope that you guys found this very useful. If you guys have any questions, we did do a few little tests where we kind of combined them a little bit different. We did like Kaelan, something like that. We'll do another live stream next time, doing different combinations. Obviously, we had a stamina limit. Because we did damn near stam out like 250, what is it, 240 or 250 stamina on the Ruby Kaelan. Big shout out to Jason again for helping us out there. If you guys have any questions in the comment section below, let me know. I hope that you guys found this useful, and I hope that it helped you guys, guide you guys as like, okay, do I go for these new archers or not, or do I go for somewhere else? Okay, so if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on the video. It definitely helps me out a ton. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, guys, hit that sub button, turn on the bell notification, lets you guys know when I go live or drop a new video, guys. Peace, y'all.